Hello.
Hello. We're in the same room and I get to sleep over.
Sleepover.
I'm so excited.
This is Are You With Me Right Now? Episode 33.
Daddy age.
Yep. This is the dad episode.
Yay. Oh, yeah, it is, actually. Too meta for me.
So I've got some big news.
Buckle up.
Are you ready for it?
It's the law. I'm so ready.
I started playing WoW again.
No, that's not what the topic is.
Yes, it is.
Addicted man. Wait. Does that count? Because you're doing Sober October. But if you're addicted to WoW, are you breaking the law?
Could be.
You're breaking the law. I'm going to tell Joe Rogan on you.
Oh.
I'm going to report you to the Rojogan police.
Do it.
I will.
I mean, no.
I know.
It's just substances only. Substance addiction is the only thing we care about. What would an addiction to WoW be?
Dopamine. I mean, it would be a process addiction, like gambling or sex.
Gotcha.
Gaming is actually not classified as an official addiction by the DSM as of right now. But gambling is. That's the only one.
But there's some parents in Canada trying to sue Fortnite. They're trying to sue Epic Games over Fortnite their children being addicted to Fortnite.
There are like video game rehabs all over the world. In like South Korea.
I was about to say all over the world, as in South Korea.
Yes, but also in South Korea. They exist in other places, but I've watched videos about them in South Korea for class over the summer. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Well, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
They should be addicted to video games. They earned it. They earned that freedom.
They earned it. Okay. Now what's the real topic?
I mean, that was pretty real.
2 real, 3 real, 5 me.
Yep. Okay. Talk to you later.
No. This is... Nope. Minimize that. You just opened World of Warcraft.
It's not the window. I just want to log in and see if it needs to update.
Stop it. You're going to call your therapist and bitch about your woman getting you off WoW?
Yep.
That's fine. She'll probably be on my side.
Could be.
But this is the Daddy Issues episode, part 15.
Whatever. No, it's not.
Oh, sad man.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know it.
I'm really not. I'm not sad about it. So, my dad calls me today because he's part of this show tomorrow. So my dad plays music and I'm renting gear to this event tomorrow. And the rental had nothing to do with him really, but he called me because his friend wanted to know what sort of equipment they would have. And I told him. And that was about to be the end of the conversation. We were real close to just, okay, bye. And that's when he asks if I was still mad at him. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And he said, well, does that mean, you don't want to be part of the family anymore or something along those lines?
Does that mean you're not family anymore?
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess. I was like, yeah, I mean, you don't really act like family anyway. He's like, you don't want me to act like family. I was like, no. I was like, you don't act like family. I was like, you don't treat me like I'm a member of the family. Because you don't treat family members that way. And I forget how he responded to it. It just devolved back into, like, he's doing me a favor by renting me the house, but he still won't move his stuff out because he owns the house and all the stuff in it. And he wants to go up on the rent. He wants to, quadruple the rent.
And have you pay insurance?
Yeah, he says the insurance company wants me to pay insurance on the house. But that's not how things work. So that was a lie. Whoever owns the house pays the homeowner's insurance. I would pay renter's insurance, but renter's insurance is optional. Renter's insurance covers my stuff that's in the house. he still has to have insurance on the house because he owns the house. I've rented places before, and I told him this. I was like, Dad, I've rented lots of properties before. I was like, this isn't my first go around. I was like, this isn't how rental agreements work, you know? So yeah, after the insurance thing, I think that was next, the insurance thing. And then he goes into like, well, I'm going to go up to $1,100 on the rent. I was like, yeah, fix it up, turn it into a rentable house. I was like, the place isn't rentable. It's not in good shape. And he proceeds to blame that on me. And I was like, no, I was like the house, like the structure itself and the major things in the yard are not my responsibility. I was like, they're not coming with me when I leave. And he's like, oh, so when are you leaving? I was like, I've already told you many times. Like, he was the first person I told. It would be like, May. And I was like, well, more realistically, probably like June. Because it's going to be late May, when my girlfriend graduates. And that's when we plan on moving out. I've told you this. Well, that's when I kind of started going over things again. I was like, you need to get your stuff out of there. Your stuff's all over the house. Like, you can't rent it like that. I was like, and there's the yards and like, need some serious work. He's like, yeah, I know, proceeds to blame that on me again. I was like, no. I was like, there's a deck and a pool. I was like, I've tried to take the deck down, but it's too big a job for me. It needs a crew of people to do it. And he kind of gave me this tone as if like I was, it was my responsibility to take down that deck and that pool by myself. And I was like, there's a giant oak tree in the backyard. And that thing's like way overgrown. It's way overgrown. It needs some serious, it needs some serious work. It probably just needs to be cut down. It's really grown into the neighbor's yard. He's going to say something about it before too long. And I don't know. He starts like flip-flopping back and forth again about, what my responsibility is. And I was like, look, you just said this was all your stuff. So is it your stuff or is it my stuff? I was like, if it's your stuff, come and get it out. And I was like, if it's my stuff, then it's my stuff. He doesn't make any sense. My therapist can't make sense of it either. I guess if I can't make sense of it, I don't guess my therapist could either. Because I'm just giving her the information that I've got. So eventually he just hangs up on me. Prior to this, so this past weekend, basically a family friend of ours, we were just kind of talking and hanging out. He was talking about how cool our parents were. He's like, our parents are way cooler than we are. And I didn't say anything. I just wasn't going there, obviously. But because, he really looks up to his dad. And I think that's really admirable. It must be nice, I like his dad too. His dad's a real sweet guy and it is really cool. I really like his uncle. His uncle and I get along really well. We used to hang out just randomly because he and I have a lot in common relationshipally. We go through lots of relationships. And so we'd end up just hanging out at his house, just making a fire there together and just chilling. He always thought it was funny. He always tells the story back when, like, in the early days of Facebook, when he got on Facebook, I claimed him as like my other dad. So I had like my dad and I had him listed as my dad on Facebook. It was funny.
I had a bunch of those too. I call more than one person mom.
Ooh.
Currently IRL.
Copycat lady. So we kind of got in the topic of like smoking weed with his parents or with his dad, I guess. And I used to smoke with my ex-wife's parents. And it seems weird. It sounds weird, I guess.
I find that a strange boundary, but whatever.
It's no different than drinking with your parents.
Disagree, but that's okay.
If you've never done it, you can't agree or disagree.
I disagree anyway, and that's okay.
But it is really not much different than just sitting around drinking with your parents. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do that either, so.
Oh, well.
My dad doesn't drink, and my mom also doesn't drink much.
Okay.
Next.
Well, so, and then he just kind of brings up my dad's vape pen. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was like, I didn't know anything about that, but whatever. I was like, my dad is. And he doesn't, but. So, this is kind of on the heels of, dad's calling me lazy and like, in the context of smoking weed, I'm lazy. And this was like one of the last conversations we had about, Dad, will you please move your stuff out of the house? I'm not really that interested in in the other things. It's only when he brings up that I'm going to charge you an exorbitant amount of money to live there. And I'm like, no, you're not, because it's not worth that. And you're not going to charge anybody else that much money to live here either, because it's not worth that. Because, again, let me start rattling off the list of things that you need to do before you can do anything with this house. So, I'm just kind of thinking about like this, just the giant level of hypocrisy that is. I've kind of been dwelling on that for 4 or 5 days now.
Most of your life?
Well, yeah. I knew that he was a big pot smoker in high school. Most of his friends, I didn't learn this until I was, in my mid-20s or so, that he was the biggest pothead in high school, quote unquote. So, yeah, it's not surprising that he's got a weed vape pen. But yeah, so anyway, after he hung up on me, I sent him a text and I was like, this is what I mean, by, I'll read it just for the record. I said, this is exactly what I mean when I say that no, parents don't treat their kids like this. I was like, I heard about your vape pen too, after being so critical of me. It was a little bit of a jab, but I feel like he deserves to be called out on his shit. Somebody's got to call him out. And immediately he texts back, parents treat shitty, spoiled, worthless children like that. I'm done with you. And then 15 minutes later, he says, are you still using my equipment? And I am still using a little bit of his equipment, not much of it. So after that, I didn't respond to him at all. And I probably never will again, except for like legally, just to tell him not to talk to me ever again. But immediately I called the sheriff's department to see if they had any idea what my rights were as far as like not having a rental agreement, but paying rent. They were like, well, that's a civil matter, so let me give you the number to the courthouse. So I called the courthouse, and they were not available. So I got to call them again tomorrow just to kind of figure out what my rights are. I think regardless he has to serve me with an eviction notice.
Okay.
And then I've got 30 days after that. I'm not going to try to give him that long, though. I'm going to try not to give him that long.
Time to get packing, I guess.
Yeah, kind of. It was about, it was like 3 hours later. My stepmom gets home. To their house, and she sends me a text. And what she says, because she's the rational one in the family, she says, my heart is breaking. I just got home from a long day at work to hear that you two have been at it again. Can we talk? What's your schedule this weekend? I said I'm working all weekend. But I do have some free time Saturday morning and then Sunday evening. So she says she's going to come over Saturday morning and chat. But after what he said, I don't think there's much she can do. For me to have any sort of respect for him again. It's my level of respect is like well into the negatives now. It was 0, but yeah, it's way down there now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything she could say. On his behalf or her own to do anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be her purpose. She's not a dumb woman. I don't think she'd be coming over to be like, oh, you guys can work it out. I think she just loves you a lot and wants to come give you some love.
Could be.
I hope. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. It could be.
Because I love your stepmom a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know why she's with my dad. That kind of makes me wonder about her.
Why was your mom with your dad?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't think she did either.
There you go. I'm interested to see what she has to say.
Yeah.
Because now this means currently that your parents, your dad and stepmom, will have no contact with your child.
Yeah. So I texted my ex-wife and I was like, yeah, he's, sorry, but he's not an option anymore. And I sent her the screenshot. It's the same screenshot I sent you. Same screenshot I sent my older brother.
I say you didn't send it to me.
I did not send you the screenshot?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's right, because you were calling in the middle of it.
Yeah, we were on the phone. You read it to me, though.
Yeah. So my brother never responded. His advice was to not let it get any worse. And I just said, well, it got worse, and I sent him that screenshot. I don't feel like I provoked it. He asked the question. I was just letting a sleeping dog lie, as they say.
Who?
They.
Oh.
I guess the transgender people.
Stop it.
Don't they go by they?
Stop changing the subject. What'd your ex-wife say?
She said that she didn't want to be in the middle of it.
Fair.
She just wants a free babysitter. It's the only thing she wanted. I mean, that's somebody to pawn our kid off on.
And I think I was thinking about this on the way down here. It's now like it's past the point where she'd be, in the middle of it or whatever, which I don't think she is. But now it's to the point where this is not a decision she gets to make. This is your family and not hers.
Yeah.
And where I don't think it would be appropriate at all for her to go, well, just because you don't have a relationship doesn't mean we can't or whatever.
Right.
Like this is your father. And that's not her place to go around that.
I agree.
So we'll see how she feels about that as well. But I don't know why she doesn't just use her family to watch her kids. No one in her family watches the baby ever.
Somebody's watching
except
their
her
kids
sister.
tonight, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Her other sister, I think her other sister watched her one time. Her other sister they had all the kids though. She's got 2 sisters, and her oldest sister, I think, did watch like all 4 of the girls one day.
Okay.
Yeah. At first, I mean, I went along with it. I mean, because I was trying not to get in between my daughter and my dad's relationship. But yeah, I mean, he's crossed a serious line here. Blaming me for his own shortcomings. I mean, how do you call your own child spoiled? I mean, sorry you were a shitty parent, I guess. Like, who else are you going to blame that on? Is it my fault I'm spoiled? Did I spoil myself? Ooh, not possible. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I probably have spoiled myself, but that's nothing to do with him.
I don't think so. And that's the thing my dad would say to me a lot too. Who the fuck spoiled me though? You did.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't feel bad that one of Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life is don't let your kids do things that will make you not like them.
Oh, damn. That's really good. We'll get to Jordan Peterson in a little bit. Or like just discuss him in general.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward now with the baby. What is going to be communicated to her?
I don't know.
I was also thinking about that on the way down here.
She saw us fight the first time. She was there.
Yes, and she was not happy.
She wasn't. But I told her, I was like, he's being mean to me. I mean, that's all I knew to say. And I didn't think that was unfair. Because I feel like he is being, mean to me.
He is being really mean to you. No, I didn't think that was out of line or unfair or anything. Just to put in some 2 cents about her happiness, I guess, in this, is I would not tell her about like the moving situation until you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like overtly pack or tell her that, we're going to move, but I don't know where yet. Like figure out somewhere to go and then let her know.
Yeah.
Because if it's uncertain, she's going to freak out. Or she'll worry. Kids are really good at worrying.
Yeah.
And we can figure out what to tell her about your dad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
And I would wait till stepmom comes over to figure that out. Just see what that even is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to waste time looking for options, though. Or I don't need to waste the time that I have to look for options.
No, look for options. I mean, I would hold off on telling your child until stepmom comes over and just kind of see what that's about.
Yeah.
That is kind of the long-standing one of like, what are we going to tell her about your dad? We can wait a little longer on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, find options for housing like now. Because you want out of this house anyway.
Yeah. I really don't want to move twice in the next 6 months, but...
I know. I mean, my lease is up in next month.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that's a decision to rush just because,
Yeah.
So is that even a choice? Like, I don't even know. I've been wondering about that. Like, okay, let's go find a house. But...
You mean together?
Yeah, I don't think that would be feasible in the next 30 days.
Feasible?
Yeah, like me living here, 45 minutes away from school and work and other work, like an hour away from other work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've thought about that too, but that's not a discussion for podcast.
True.
Like where we're going to live.
True. No, I mean, like whether we would live together like 5 months earlier than anticipated.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I think that's too big a decision to make right now.
Yeah.
All right, what else on this?
I mean, that was, I don't know.
Your dad's a dick.
I mean, I think so. I've always thought so.
Now you have proof.
Yeah.
I've already said this, but here for the benefit of the listeners, I love you.
I love
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thanks.
And I know you're not exactly one for knowing what'll help in the moment, but tell me how to help.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't really require emotional support.
No. The only thing that surprises me is that he actually, had the balls to say that.
In writing, too.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry, my best friend's family is going through some just soap opera level crazy shit. And all the people.
The one with the baby? The one with the pregnancy?
No.
Okay, right.
The one with the living baby.
Yes. Babies are alive.
The one that's outside of her body.
Okay.
There you go.
The one she can't legally murder?
Yeah. I'm so glad we're having this discussion right now. There's some serious shit that's been going on for like a week. It's a lot. But the people that are saying some shit to them are putting it in writing and like they're just digging their own grave, and it's kind of hilarious. That's what I mean. Like, why are you writing that down where it is directly linked to you? Both the people that are harassing them basically and your dad.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be a shit, do it over the phone.
I think what pissed him off is that I knew that he had a vape pen.
Yep.
I think that was as I told my friend, that was the nuclear launch code.
Yeah. I think so too.
Just wait till I tell him that I know he slept with my mom's best friend.
Oh, God. Are you planning on telling him that?
I mean, if he keeps pushing buttons, sure. I'll unleash everything I know on him.
If he keeps talking to you, basically?
Probably, yeah.
I say, I don't think there's much that you're going to respond to him about besides that.
I'll just start writing it on all of his stuff.
What do you mean?
Just on everything that's here. I'll just leave little notes on all of it. I know what you did last summer.
You're so weird.
Yeah. I didn't say it to be vengeful. It was just to, like, I know who you are. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, there was another statement there about, yeah, he's like, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go up on the rent. The rent's already, $1,100 a month. I was like, no, it's not going to work that way. I was like, I'm not paying you for a promise that you're going to make. I know you better than that. I was like, I was like, I've known you for much too long to pay you for something in advance. I was like, sorry, it's not going to happen. And I think that pissed him off too. But I wasn't trying to piss him off. I was being serious with him. I mean, seriously, I would not front him anything. He's just not you can't rely on him. I can't rely on him. Maybe other people can, but I've never been able to.
Why did your dad even have kids?
Probably because my mom wanted kids. So my little brother, they didn't want my little brother.
Oh, that's so sad. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they had you. Hi, I like you. I don't know. I wonder that about my parents all the time. Like, if y'all fucking hated each other so much, why did you have 2 kids? Why did you do this to yourselves and then us?
Yeah.
There was a meme that I think my therapist sent me. No, I sent it to my therapist from a really fucking funny borderline Instagram page. They're good. But the one I found was like, Mom, gives me the gift of life. Me, thanks, I hate it. That's it. That's me. Why did you do this?
Yeah.
It just wasn't necessary.
I don't know. So anyway.
What, Jordan Peterson next?
I mean, I guess so.
The father of your future wife?
Yeah. Or my current father.
Oh, Yep. He's your real dad now. Do you want to send him a letter? Like, and It's Always Sunny, how Max sent that to, God, what baseball player was that?
Yeah.
I would love to have a catch. God. All right. Well, we started the lecture, or I don't know where you are in it, but I started the,
I just finished the third.
what is the lecture series called?
It's a biblical lecture on Genesis.
It's like ideas about God or something. Yeah, it's like the mythology behind biblical stories.
Yeah.
And the first lecture, which is episode 18, is about 2.5 hours long or 2 hours long.
They're all 2 hours long.
I got 10 minutes in and I just had to stop. I'm not stupid, but holy God, I needed, no pun intended. I really just felt like I needed to go back and listen to at least a couple of earlier episodes or lectures to just understand the terminology he's using. He spoke a lot about dreams, and he spoke about, what you act out is different. Sometimes that doesn't match your dreams and that, or what you're dreaming, and that can create a sickness in your soul. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're talking about cognitive dissonance. I get what he's talking about, but the language and the terminology is very different from what I know. So I want to know what he means by the mystics and dreams and what you're acting out. He's just using new language to me. And I think I could get it, but it's very confusing and he's glossing over them. Like he's just using the terms as if I know what they mean, and I really don't.
Yeah, so he's using that lecture series. Well, most all of his lectures are, his public lectures are ways for him to further his own knowledge, really.
Yes, I mean, he said that in the lecture.
Yeah, what he's doing is he's taking, he's got some rough ideas. What he always does on his live lectures is he's just got kind of a rough idea of what he wants to talk about, and he kind of launches into it, and he tries to figure it out as he goes, and he's really good at it. But I think that's the big draw. That's the magic of watching him live or even listening to his podcast, is because you hear him toying with ideas and trying to make sense of all of this knowledge that he's got. And it's really cool. But yeah, he does, especially with the biblical series, because he hits some really deep concepts, and he just he does skim through them because he's talking to himself, kind of.
So he knows what these all mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they mean to him.
Well, dreams, he's talking about your dreams, and
not like actual dreams.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah. But then acting out, he's talking about the way that people literally act. It's because he says that you don't always act the way that you really think you do.
Yeah, he was speaking about the split basically between the conscious and the subconscious.
Yeah.
And how Westerners, basically, we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot with our wandering intellects, I think was the phrase he used, was wandering intellects. And that we're always questioning everything, and we kind of just create this existential dread for ourselves. Which I thought was hilarious and very true. He was saying, when people are anxious or depressed, it's not just a neurological issue. Like there may be, / probably is, some like chemical imbalance going on in the brain. Something might be misfiring, but really it's just based in existential fear. Like there's existential problems and you're worried about it. And that's where a lot of, I guess what you could call neuroses come from.
Yeah.
So is that we kind of make ourselves miserable by always questioning everything, which was interesting.
He speaks a lot about Jung and Nietzsche and Freud.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, we'd already gotten a Nietzsche reference.
Yeah.
I like Jung and Freud. I wrote a paper on Jungian dream theory, I think in like high school for my AP psychology class. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of what he talks about, he says that he's learned a lot from Jung, And
I believe it.
I don't know if he means that literally, like in the first person.
Is he that old?
Could be. Yeah, he could have just studied a lot of Jung. I don't know if he actually knew him or met him. Because he was just talking about this. Because he talks about arithmetic. And doing the arithmetic on yourself. Like, how many more experiences do you have? You know, if you've got, you know, they say that a good adventure takes 3 to 4 years. Like a real adventure takes about 3 to 4 years. So if you figure out how many years you've got left, he says that he's probably got, 3 or 4 more adventures with his wife. If you want to be optimistic about it, he's got 6 more adventures, and I think that put him at like 95. So, if he's got, 3 times 3, or maybe 4 times 4, even 16, somewhere, so.
Somewhere between 9 and 16 years.
Yeah. So he's probably, he's at least 60 then.
You say he's got 6 more?
At best.
Then it'd be 3 times 6 and 4 times 6.
At best, he had 6 more.
So between 18 and 24 years.
He's 57. Okay.
Oh, he looks different with all that facial hair.
Yeah.
He looks less goofy with the beard.
He gained a lot of weight for a while.
Really?
Yeah. Not a lot, but I mean, he's, yeah.
Chunky man.
Yeah. He lost it all. Influences. Carl Jung. He's got more than just Jung, but okay.
But yeah, we're embarking on maybe an adventure because he has a lot of hours of lecture. But you were listening to Peterson and his biblical stuff, and I was like, well, that'd be really interesting. I'd like to hear about that on the podcast. You were saying, well, that's a lot. I don't know that I could relay that adequately, just because it is so much information and so much deep information at the depth that you just weren't really used to going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how about I listen to some of it too? I need some new reading material. And then I tried it, but I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really interesting because in the last episode we chatted about you've been getting interested in talking about more religious subjects just to like talk about them and really dig in. I'm like, yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, just because Jordan talks about him a lot, he's really got me really deeply interested in the mythology behind it. Because Jordan's not an atheist. I don't know that he's explicitly Christian, really, but I mean, kind of.
I would read him as spiritual.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely not an atheist. He thinks atheists are short-sighted. And he thinks atheism is kind of silly because a lot of people who claim to be atheistic, rational as they are, they certainly don't act atheistic.
What do you mean?
Because they do things religiously.
Like what?
I don't remember exactly.
Like they have a routine or they idolize things or what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. See, it's tough for me to relay a lot of his information. He repeats things a lot, so that's helpful.
Okay,
not
good.
within the same lecture, but across.
I was going to say maybe that's why you like me, but not in the same lecture.
Across multiple lectures, he'll bring up the same concepts a lot, and that I find it really helpful.
That's one of the marks of a good teacher, in my opinion.
Yeah,
is where you can connect everything you're saying, even across long stretches of time.
Yeah,
or disparate lectures, if they all come together to some sort of head that you are able to demonstrate.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I probably listen to at most about 10 hours of him a week.
Dang. And I'm new to Jordan Peterson, but I did used to be very Christian. So I think that'll be an interesting discourse.
Yeah, I consume a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos. So.
And ever since I listened to like 90 episodes of Sword and Scale in about 2 weeks, and I got very sad because it's very intense.
Yeah.
And I also just kind of got tired of podcasts in those 2 weeks. So I haven't listened to a podcast in quite a while. I did just download the ACA Big Red Book. So that was really nice. I've been wanting to get it since my last credit expired. So I'm just doing like occasional books, but I got back into music. I've not been podcasting lately.
My therapist recommended a lot of things. She always recommends a lot of things. I never get to them because I listen to 10 hours of Jordan a week. But, have you ever heard of Running on Empty No More?
Yes. Who is that by?
Jonas Webb or something like that?
I have heard, yeah, there's Running on Empty and then Running on Empty No More. I read about them somewhere. I don't recall.
My therapist, maybe?
I think it was actually the last time that I went in with you.
Okay. She says I need to read that book. She also tried to get me to read A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius, which is a David Egger book.
I've read one of his books. It was fine. I wouldn't read it again.
People are, from what I can tell by the Amazon reviews, people are really polarized by Staggering Genius. It's a book about, he lost both of his parents to cancer, like within a couple of months or something.
Fiction or non?
I think non.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've only read fiction by him.
But it's kind of the story of he and his brother, because they were pretty young. And all of a sudden he was a parental figure for his brother. And he had lost his parents, you know. So.
You've mentioned this to me before. I don't think I knew the name. But yeah, I'd say give that a shot.
Well, I listened to a clip of it, and I don't like the guy that reads it. The guy that reads it's real stiff. I don't know if it's him or not. There's just no emotion in the reading at all.
So it's not heart-wrenching or whatever the title is?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not, it's hard to engage with. And I'm certainly not going to read it.
You can't read.
I don't have time to read.
Me neither. Not anymore.
She says she wants me to take my therapist wants me to take a childhood neglect questionnaire.
Wait, is it, which questionnaire?
It's a CENN assessment, and
I am not familiar with that one. That would be very interesting, and I agree. You should take that. Live on the air. If it's not that many questions.
No, I'm not going to do it here.
Okay.
Here we go. Geoportal of natural hazards and risks in Georgia.
No, what?
What? Oh, this is not it.
No.
You mean it's not the shaping the future by changing today?
Why are you like this?
my climate change. Okay, it's just CEN.
Oh.
Childhood emotional neglect.
Same. I want to take this too.
Dr. Jonas Webb. Yeah, here it is. Ooh, excuse me. Doctor. Oh, okay. Yeah, Running on Empty No More. By the same person.
Yep.
Overcome your childhood neglect. I wasn't neglected.
Yeah, you probably were.
No, I wasn't.
I'm going to take it too. Yeah, you were. You don't have to agree with me or like believe it, but yeah, you were.
CEN questionnaire. Find out if you have CEN for free in under 59 seconds. All right, we can do this live on the air.
Hang on, wait, I want to do it too.
Enter your email address. 10minutemail.com. That's me.
Wait, which one is yours? Wait, which site are you on?
Dr. Jonas Webb's website.
How'd you get to that?
I googled
that one right there.
I googled Jonas Webb. Keep track of how many questions you answer yes to and add them up at the end. All right, help me out here.
Wait, okay.
All right, sometimes you feel like you don't belong when with your family or friends. Wait, do you sometimes feel like you don't belong when with your family or friends?
Yeah.
No. I feel like I belong with definitely my friends, but my family, it depends on who it is, but not really. I'd say no.
I'm going to write this down. Hang on. Because I don't want to lose track of either of ours.
Do you pride yourself on not relying on others? Yeah. Do you have difficulty?
Wait.
Just use your hands. There's 22 of these. You have 22 fingers.
Well, I'm doing both of ours at the same time.
There's no way I'm going to get 22 yeses. I'll probably get like 4. because I don't have childhood neglect.
All right, so go for it. Next one.
All right. So do you pride yourself on not relying on others? I do. Yes. Do you have difficulty asking for help? You would say that I do.
You absolutely do.
Do you have friends or family who complain that you are aloof or distant? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel you have not met your potential in life? No.
Okay.
I think that's a dangerous thought to have. I mean, your potential is whatever you know, whatever.
Okay.
Do you often just want to be left alone? I wouldn't say it like that, I don't think. Especially not often.
Okay.
Do you secretly feel you may be a fraud? No, absolutely not. Do you tend to feel uncomfortable in social situations? No. Do you often feel disappointed with or angry at yourself? No. Do you judge yourself more harshly than you judge others? I don't think so.
You're pretty judgy of other people, so I don't think so.
Right. I judge other people pretty hard. And I try not to do it outwardly anymore. I used to do it like, whew. Do you compare yourself to others and often find yourself sadly lacking? Hell no. Do you find it easier to love animals than people? No. I think people that do are dumb. Do you often feel irritable or unhappy for no apparent reason? No.
Yes, you're literally angry all the time.
Am I?
You're irritable often.
Yeah, but there's no...
You're currently irritable. As you're reading these questions, you're like making yourself a little bit pissed.
I'm not irritable.
I say absolutely.
But for no apparent reason? There's a reason for my irritability.
Not all the time. Put you behind the wheel of the car and someone gets like slightly slower than you or something. Oh my God.
Everybody.
No, they don't.
And that's not no apparent reason.
Oh my God.
Road rage is real. I'm going to say no.
That's fine.
Unhappy, no. I mean, you know, irritable or unhappy. No. Do you have trouble knowing what you're feeling?
Yes.
Sure, I guess.
You cannot name any feelings.
Do you have trouble identifying your
You
strengths?
have named 0 feelings to me in the last 9 months.
Do you have trouble identifying your strengths and weaknesses? I don't think so.
I don't know.
No. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are.
Okay.
Do you sometimes feel like you're on the outside looking in? When I'm hungover sometimes. Sometimes when I'm really hungover, I'll have like this out of body experience kind of thing.
It's called derealization.
But no. Do you believe you're one of those people who could easily live as a hermit? No. Do you have trouble calming yourself? No. Do you feel there's something holding you back from being present at the moment? What do you think?
Like right this second?
Well, at the moment, I don't know. In the moment, do you feel there's something holding you back from being present in the moment? Holding me back? No. I can often be not present, but I don't feel like there's
I was going to say both of us can frequently be not present.
But that's...
Yours is less overt. But I think it happens more often.
Okay. We'll give that a yo.
Okay.
Do you at times feel empty inside? No.
Oh, God.
Do you secretly feel there's something wrong with you?
I think you'd be lying if you said no. Think historically.
I guess. Sure. Do you struggle with self-discipline? No.
I don't think so. That's me.
I think my sober October is a good indication of that.
I don't think WoW Classic is a good indicator of that.
Yeah, I guess there's some things I
think you're disciplined, honey.
I think so. I feel like it. So, look back over your yes answers. These answers give you a window into the areas in which you may have experienced emotional neglect as a child. That was way more than 59 seconds.
It's just because you read slow. And I had to fight you on 5 of them.
So do I or not?
How many do you need?
I don't know. I didn't say.
That's some bullshit. That's not real.
Just one, I guess.
If there's no scoring tool, then it's not real.
How many did I get?
7.
7 out of 22?
Yeah.
I failed that one.
Damn.
Why is it important to recover from sin? The way you are treated emotionally by your parents determines how you will treat yourself as an adult.
I want to take it now.
This has been proven over and over again in study after study. Emotion is an undeniable part of your biology. If you ignore your emotions, you will feel ignored on some level, no matter how much care you give yourself in other ways. Emotion is the substance of all relationships. If you're not attending to your emotions, you are bypassing a vital source of connection and joy. I don't tend to my emotions. But I just don't dwell on them. I mean, how am I supposed to feel about my dad calling me like worthless, you know?
He's such a dick.
Yeah, I mean, so I just don't put any weight into his words. Like, so? Yeah, that's my motto. So?
True.
You know, what's he going to do
triggered.
About it?
So?
Right. What's he going to do about it? You know, good luck. All right. Am I reading these to you?
Please.
Listeners at home, try this on your own. And add them up and write it down on a little sheet of paper. And then ball it up into a tight little ball.
Shove it up your ass.
And shove it up your asshole. You haven't seen that movie?
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Huh?
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It was on Let's Go to Prison.
Oh, well, they made that joke in The Office, too.
What year?
Huh?
What year?
I don't know.
I'm sure Let's Go to Prison didn't invent that joke
It was
either.
in, like, season 5 when Stanley was starting to be, like, sassy.
Oh. They go to prison, and the warden tells them, if you have any comments or questions or complaints, just write it down on a little sheet of paper, ball it up into a little ball, and stick it right up your asshole. Do you sometimes feel like you don't belong when with your family or friends?
Yes.
Do you pride yourself on not relying on others?
No.
Do you have difficulty asking for help?
No.
Do you have friends or family who complain that you are aloof or distant?
No.
Do you
Actually, wait, yeah. Good friend.
Do you feel like you have not met your potential in life?
No.
Do you often just want to be left alone? Yes.
Yes.
Do you secretly feel you may be a fraud?
Yeah.
That's weird. Do you tend to feel uncomfortable in social situations? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you often feel disappointed with or angry at yourself?
Yes.
Do you judge yourself more harshly than you judge others?
Yes.
Do you compare yourself to others and find yourself sadly lacking?
Sometimes. So we can call it yeah. Because it does happen. Sometimes I don't find myself lacking, though.
Do you find it easier to love animals than people?
Yeah.
You're so dumb. Do you
I know.
often feel irritable or unhappy for no apparent reason? Yes.
Yeah, but that's just depression.
Do you have trouble knowing what you're feeling?
No.
Do you have trouble identifying your strengths and weaknesses?
No.
Do you sometimes feel like you're on the outside looking in?
Yes.
Thanks, Stained. Do you believe you're one of those people who could easily live as a hermit?
Yeah.
Do you have trouble calming yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up.
Do you feel there's something holding you back from being present in the moment?
Shut up. Like right this second?
No. In general.
Yeah.
Do you at times feel empty inside?
Are these the lyrics to my next emo song?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think that was a Stained lyric too.
Oh God.
Do you secretly feel there's something wrong with you?
Not any. Well, actually, yeah. Yes. Historically and sometimes recently.
Do you struggle with self-discipline? Yes.
Yeah. Shut up.
So that's 17 out of 22.
You're so mean.
You definitely have childhood emotional neglect.
Don't step on snake. That's me.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonas Webb. Now that you know how much childhood emotional neglect or sin has affected your life, I would like to give you some tips on how you can recover from sin.
I'm already in ACA. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think it affects me all that much.
Yeah, fair enough. I still think you were not parented great, but at least by your dad, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But okay, fair. I'm kind of glad we did that. So now we actually have like a number about it. Dude, we did, It's called the General Contentment Survey, the GCS, I think. And I don't remember when it was drawn up, but it's really just a depression questionnaire, but they named it the Contentment Survey so people wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not depressed. I'm going to say no to all these questions.
Sure.
And we took it in class, and I actually scored like in the clinical range for having depression. I'm like, oh my God. I texted my therapist. I said, I'm still surprised all the time when I score accurately on depression measures. Like, oh my God, I'm not faking it. That's cool. He's like, yeah, I know. Like,
what if you were lying on the test?
I wasn't.
But what if you don't know that you were?
Then what? You don't lie without knowing you're lying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But what if you have something holding you back from being present in the moment?
That doesn't make any sense. You're the worst. All right, you win this round. You are not significantly emotionally neglected. I do not think you were parented that well, though. Speaking strictly about your father, I think he's been a pretty shit parent.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was, just for the most part, he was just not around. And that's fine. I mean, I think that's probably a good thing, as opposed to being parented by him. Because that would have been terrible.
I agree with that. You'd probably have a lot more significant issues if he did parent you.
Yeah.
Like right up close.
We got in a fight about something when I was a teenager. I don't remember what it was. It was a physical fight. I mean, I pushed him or something.
Ugh.
Yeah. He was in my room and I don't know. He was just being a dick.
Who, him?
I know, right? I mean, I probably
can't
was.
believe that.
I probably was too.
Yeah. Because you were a teenager. It happens.
Yeah.
People aren't nice when they're 16.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember having friends whose older brothers, like, they were best friends with their sisters. Like, oh yeah, I can count on him for anything. I'm like, what? Like, that just sounded so fake. Like, I haven't lived in a house with my brother for 4 years, and I consistently want him to die, but I don't. Like, I don't understand how that's possible. For you to be, like, nice in your teens, or to have a real relationship with, like, your sibling, or, like... So, that's probably not accurate. They're like, oh yeah, everyone's a shit when they're 16. But...
I started getting along with my brother when I was late teens.
Yeah. I started being friends with mine after he got off meth when he was 19. I had to go to college for us to be friends.
How far apart are you?
About 21 months. So not quite 2 years. We hadn't gone to the same school or lived in the same house since I was like 10. No, not even. We stopped going to school together when I was in second grade. And then we didn't live in the same house together consistently after I was like 12 or 13.
All right, anyway.
That's about all.
Peace out.
Peace out.